is here. Brace yourself. Envoy's taking a dirt.
Oh! No shot!
Hey, you didn't start that fight. You finished it.
I just saw it.
Oh my god.
I just saw it. I got
Yo,
shot.
clip this! Yeah, that clip was awesome. Today I'm showing you one of my favorite and what I consider to be one of the best Strand builds in the game. It starts with the Quicksilver exotic. Thanks to the catalyst, this weapon is now a Strand weapon, which means that it synergizes with Strand mods and Strand fragments. Thanks to the catalyst as well, it states that final blows or grenades from this weapon creates tangles, and that is the first keyword here on this build, is tangles. We're going to create so many of them and take advantage of them as much as possible to make this build so good. Take a look at the grenade chaser trait here. This auto rifle got its grenade launcher form buffed, which means that it's going to do more damage to adds, thus allowing you to clear mobs and groups of them pretty easily. One unfortunate thing right now with Quicksilver to take note of is that it is bugged, so it's not doing max damage, but it's still really good right now, and when it's fixed, obviously it will be better. Alright, let's take you to the next part of this build. We're combining Quicksilver with the 3 artifact mods that synergize with Strand. Quicksilver can help you with all of these. So we have Untangler. Destroying a tangle with a Strand weapon, which means our Quicksilver, suspends targets damaged by the explosion, and that explosion is massive. All the targets nearby will be suspended. Next up, it says that rapid final blows with a Strand weapon grants your weapon unraveling rounds. Now remember when I mentioned the grenade launcher and how it's really good at clearing groups of adds? Well, that grenade launcher is going to make it really easy to proc this perk so you have unraveling rounds, and that works kind of like the nanites from the Outbreak pulse rifle. Next up, we have Threaded Blast. Destroying a tangle with a Strand weapon, which means our Quicksilver, creates a larger and more damaging explosion. So this is one of the many ways we're going to take advantage of the tangle. If the tangle doesn't kill targets, they will be suspended. If you don't want to shoot the tangle for damage, you will be able to use it to be unkillable and for the most fun movement in the game. And that takes me to my subclass. We have Widow Silk, so we have 2 grenade charges, and we're using the grapple effect. When you grapple to tangles, your grapple energy is not extinguished. That means you instantly get it back. So you can grapple to tangles as a way to always chain the grapple melee combos without ever letting your grapple go to waste. Another thing is, you can grapple to the tangle and then pick up said tangle and do whatever else you want with it. I love to use it for movement, and I bet you do too, so in case you didn't know about this tech, as you saw in the clip, you can grab a tangle, throw it wherever you want, aim it as high as in the sky as you want, grapple to it immediately, and it will send you on a ride and just smile away, okay? Let's go ahead and move on to the next part of this build. Let's take a look at my fragments. Thread of Ascent. Activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapon and grants bonus airborne effectiveness and handling for a short duration. This mod is flexible, but I like using it. I think it works. It makes the build really fun, and it also fits with the idea of just go. We don't want any time to reload. Just reload my weapons for me, please. One awesome tech here with this fragment is that if you have a grapple point next to you, you can always consistently grapple to either the tangle or the grapple point without extinguishing your grenade ability, of course, thus infinitely reloading your weapon. Next up, we have Thread of Fury. Damaging targets with the tangle grants melee energy. So as we saw in the artifact and as we saw Quicksilver can do, we can get constant tangles, and this will constantly refund our melee, and then the melee gives you the added benefits of what it does. Next up is Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy, so literally as we're playing the game, anything will help me get my grenade back, so I have infinite grapples. It is so fun. Last but not least is going to take us to the next part of this build, where it turns our hunter into somebody that's role-playing the job of a titan. It is Thread of Transmutation. While you have Woven Mail, Weapon Final Blows creates a tangle. And you're questioning, how do we get Woven Mail on a hunter? Well, we can make tangles, right? That's awesome. But this takes us to my exotic of choice. This is the Hunter Exotic Helmet that states, gain Woven Mail when activating grapple. So if you've been following along, Basically, this build gives you infinite grapples whenever you want on demand, constantly having overshields and activating all the mods and perks on this build. Take a look at my stats. I'm running tier 6 resilience. I found that to be okay. I'm pretty tanky, but the big part here is that overshield, as it is rumored to give you a 60% damage reduction inside of PvE and about 25 in PvP. So, believe me, you're practically unkillable when it comes to PvE. And if you're worried about, your health going too low, don't worry. We have more mods here that will help and, cover some of our weaknesses and cover all our bases. Let's take a look at my helmet mod first. So I got mods here, hands on and ashes to acids to get my super back faster. My gauntlet here, I have heavy handed. When I am doing the grapple into a melee combo and I defeat multiple targets, I'm going to create orbs of power thanks to that, so I take advantage of those orbs. Next up is Impact Dunction. Causing damage with the melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown, further emphasizing the whole infinite grapple effect that we have. We throw our melee, it's locking onto so many targets at a time, refunding our grenades. Next up is our chest piece. Since I like to play close and personal, we want to be even more tanky. Even though we have that overshield, melee damage resistance is going to be key here. Concussive dampener is nice. On my boots, I have recuperation. So as we're making orbs of power, we want to pick those up and it's going to give us a big boost to our health, meaning that even if the ads manage to get us quite weak, that extra health on top of the damage reduction will just mean that I'm going to heal more than they do damage. And I'm also using Orbs of Restoration so that my abilities come back faster. I decided to use Strand Weapon Surge here so that my Quicksilver does even more damage. Last but not least is my cloak, and I just have triple bomber. Every time that I dodge, I'm getting my grenades back faster. And thanks to the aspect it gives me 2 grapple charges, I'm never really letting that ability go to waste because I'm just always using them and I have 2 of them to stock in the back, right? And that, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Quicksilver Infinite Tangles. I don't even know what you would call this, unkillable hunter. So much fun, really awesome. Let's take it into some PvE gameplay so I can show you how I like to enjoy it. Alright, now that I showed you the build, here is how I like to play with it. We're going to go ahead and run into a lost sector, clear out some mobs, take a look at the build in action. It's a lot of fun. So of course we start off by using our abilities. You play however you want. Here we have a tangle. Let's let a couple enemies get nearby and see what happens when I shoot it thanks to the artifact mods. And just like that, they all become suspended. I can go in with my grapple melee. Obviously, we're on a cooldown for our grapples, but in the meantime, don't worry. We have access to unraveling rounds, thanks to the artifact, of course. We even have volatile rounds on our void weapons if we like. Go ahead and use some more of our abilities. No big deal. This guy's kind of chunky, so let's go ahead and use our grenade launcher and quickly destroy him. So now I have my tangle. There's multiple ways to play with this. You can use it to shoot it, to suspend targets. You can use it for, movement. Send it up in the sky. You can go in and chain some of your other abilities at the same time. It's a lot of fun. So again, I'll show you here some of the tech with the grapple. I like to throw this as high as possible or just aim it, across the area and it will lock onto a target pretty consistently. We go in here, we're flying in. And I know what you're thinking. You're a hunter, why are you so close range? Well, the thing is, we have a moving mill. If you've been paying attention, here we go, suspend all of them. Beautiful, look at that. If you've been paying attention, this practically lets you get a 60% damage reduction, like I mentioned earlier, making you practically unkillable. Let's go ahead and take advantage of this one. Hit a couple of them. They're all hurt. You can't do much against me. We have a bomb, but I'm more busy destroying these guys right now than anything. You always have your dodge to get your melee back. Or you can use it to suspend targets as well. And you can always use the tangles around the floor to infinitely get a good amount of grapples. So as you can tell, my grapple melee is not going away. Keep doing that as well. And you can keep chaining into that grapple melee, which is really, really fun. Boom. Boom. Let's shoot this. Boom. Even more suspending. I got unraveling rounds. My weapons are doing more damage. These targets can't hit me at all, essentially. I've only done this Lost Sector like 2 times. The Lost Sectors are very fun, very awesome. I think Bungie did a good job with them. You guys let me know what you think. I've been doing 2 of them for the exotic drops. There's a challenge you have to do where you solo flawless a Lost Sector and you get like a couple extra builds unlocked. Because right now we have like 4, 8, something like that, but you can get more, which is nice. I like the challenges. Gives me something to do. Let's go ahead and grapple. We can grapple back into this and not use a single charge. If I want to, boom. Suspend, explosion, kills everybody. Don't forget we have a power special weapon in the back. I like to use that with flashbangs. Those unraveling rounds remind me of Siva Nanites. Anybody else? So here we have a big chunky target. I'm gonna go and throw this to this guy. I want to fly over him and then combo that with my melee. And then here on the side we'll take care of some of the ads, of course. But don't worry, you want to on-demand tangle. You do have that grenade launcher. Multiple kills, rapid kills with a Strand weapon will yield us unraveling rounds. So remember that. Which means that our grenade launcher does work. We get multiple kills with that GL, and we get the bonus damage, which is always pretty fun. Always use your grapple to reload your weapon. We don't want to reload. Reloading is not fun, especially with Quicksilver. For whatever reason, this gun, if you try to run, sprint, cancel the reload too early, it's not going to let you reload the gun. Pretty annoying. So let's go ahead and just throw a couple GL shots at this guy. Obviously, playing the game, you understand that trying to kill a boss probably is a good opportunity to pop your super, use your power weapons. And I guess I'll go ahead and do that here for you guys. Get the next set of ads spawning. Here we go. Let's get some more action. Grapple into this. I got my tangle. Destroy this guy. The tangle now gives me my melee back. My melee is going to help me get my grenade back. Beautiful synergy. Unraveling rounds. Oh, they're just getting fried. We love to see it. We got 3 gel shots again. Boom. 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 Oh, I don't want to reload. Let me just grapple instead. Back up with style. Yeah, bait that attack. Let's go ahead and grapple onto these guys. Get a little tangle spawn. Actually, let's shoot it. All suspended targets. I was getting surrounded. And just like that, look at these unraveling rounds going crazy on the enemy. We love to see it. We love to see it. Some beefy gladiators. My grapple melee doesn't care. We got some more grenades. Let's go ahead and shoot that. Now pay attention how I don't have an overshield. So you're like, man, he's not dying. Is it a resilience? Is it like maxed out? While I do have a pretty decent amount of resilience, it's all coming from that woven mill. As I mentioned, you do get a 60% damage reduction if I'm correct. And let's go in for another grapple melee. Boom. Very, very fun. We got a tangle. Hit this guy. I got my melee back. I got my grenade back. You see the chaining capabilities? Incredibly fun. Alright. Grab the chest, and that is GG's. Hope you enjoyed the build as much as I did. This is really fun. With some practice, you'll get to see yourself flying across the map with tangled grapples even more. Alright, see you next time.